Hello YouTube. Now we are going to start our what you call custom animations in this video. So let's start. Go to your VS Code, go under the pages, home, sections and a banner header. Okay, because we want to animate the what you call a form, right? So let's do that. We are going to start the same, register the trigger, name it, let's name valley a, take array, transition, enter. Sorry for dot, we don't need dot, yeah, and enter. Now what we are going to do is use animate function again, use 2 seconds, depends on you, if you want, and use keyframes. I press enter and I have auto import already up, VS Code already auto imported for me. Okay, maybe do it for you. If not, then you can use some plugin. Okay, then keyframes and right. So if you missed my previous video, I just explained you. But the keyframes, they are multi-step animations. You need to animate, you need more control over your animation at different point of time. You use keyframes. So how we use keyframes is to use the keyframe function and then define a step using style, and style should contain the style, but obviously it should contain an offset key. It is a required key. Without this will not work. So here you can tell in when animate is 50% means 0.5, do the change the color or change the size and steps like that. But what I'm going to do here to make it more interesting, I'm going to the animate CSS again, uh, and there I have a shake animation, shake X. So we are going to take the code of with that. Go to your GitHub repo, then go under the sources, attention seekers, and a shake X. And you can see here is a keyframe, and just copy this keyframe into our project just for the reference and paste it. Awesome. Now one thing to remember, here we are defining them in different orders. We need to keep them in sequence 10, then we to put 20, then they have 30, then 40. We need to put them in order because Angular wants that. It will give you an error if you do not put them in order. You need to put all the offsets in a sequence. So yes, sequence matters. So let's type offset. This is going to be 0 because there is a 2 option here. I need to copy, like my previous video. If you missed that, we need to just copy these, or you can create your own, but I will encourage you to reuse the animation that already there are, instead of just reinventing the wheel again. So you can use your own creativity also, of course. Okay, but I think this is better for now. Okay, so and now in 10% we just mean then you need 0.1. Okay, for all the for them is copied and just paste. It's nothing special, just copy and paste every time, nothing hard. Copy and paste, and then we need to go move to this one, as you can see, and just copy this line and now paste this line, right? Okay, then go to the 0.3 and copy and paste. Copy this again, go to 0.4, which is this line, copy it and paste. Now copy this again to 0.5 and just paste. Okay, and go to the 0.6. There is no 0.6. There is, sorry, there is. Copy, paste. Just keep moving, just keep moving. We are just almost there. 7. Just copy, paste. Great. Just end of it. 8. We are very close. Just keep doing it. And now we are moving to the 8. Just did it wrong, I think. Yes, I did it wrong. 0.7. Okay, I'm putting the -10, right? Then I need to go for 80. That I did wrong. And need to put this native images, but let's do it for one more. Yes, put the 80. After 80 I should go 90. I just messed some, but don't worry, this will be easily fixed. It's not a big problem. Okay, great, we are done. Let me check just one in 1 3 5 7 9 -10. 1 3 7 9. Great. Now 2 2 4 6 8. Let's just recheck 2 4 6 7. That's great. We don't need this comment. You can take this, or you can just let me, okay, you can delete it, save. So that's great. I just made a little mistake. Let's don't use enter, because we don't want to animate this on enter. What we are going to do is define a state. Well, it's very easy. How can we do that? Okay, so valid goes to invalid. So these are not any defined states like void or default. These are names just given by me. I just decided to name them. You can name them valid x or invalid z, but these are not the good names in my opinion. So let's just give them some good names, like whenever the valid state moves to the invalid, this thing's going to be performed. So how can we do that? What I'm going to do is define a variable name invalid here, and just going to assign the false value. Going to my HTML file, I will pick a form, and what I'm going to do is the name of my animation is the validate. Great. And what I'm going to do is bind, this is called the property binding, and bind this to my invalid variable. So if it's true, I will assign the state name invalid, which is here. I just created, you can see invalid, and this is right. So if it's true, just make it invalid, and if it's false, remember we need to put quotations valid. Okay, so this is going to be a colon. So if it's true, which is not, now it's false, so it's valid currently. But whenever I'm going to change this to true, it's going to assign invalid, and during the transition between valid and invalid, it's going to run this animation. I hope this is clear, right? Okay, So how can I change this variable? Well, in a click of the button. So we need to subscribe the click and just call this function submit, and that's acting weird. So we have to copy this submit function inside our TS file, and we need to refer that invalid to the false, sorry, to true. Okay, it is giving me some TSLint error. That's probably because I need to define in TypeScript that what I'm going to return. I'm going to return void. So yeah, it's not a space. Okay, so it is going to be true, and right, great. So what I'm going to do is make it true, and whenever it is going to be true, it's going to assign the class invalid. Initially it's going to be false, and valid is going to be assigned, and when you will click this button, you will call this function, and this function is going to be true and make it invalid. And whenever we transition valid to invalid, this animation will run. So let's see this in action. So my project is compiled. We need to open Chrome. I closed it previously, actually, between recording. So just open, and yeah, then just click this button. Okay, nothing seems to happen. Yes, I know the issue. The issue is, okay, I got the issue. The problem is that when I'm clicking this button, the form is submitting, and which is causing a refresh of the page. So what should we do is to change the type submit, which is the like that, to the button. I just did that while pausing the video. So if you will do that, it will stop submitting the button. But there is a another bug that I found. If I go to TS file, I accidentally paste all the CSS property. I don't have to do that. The problem is this is my transform. I don't need transform here. I just need a value here. So I did it while copying it. So let's quickly remove those, because we can do this by Control D. But as you can see, it's selecting both of the text. I only want what's inside a quotation. So what I'm going to do is selecting with the quotation and pressing Control D. Let's do it quickly. And then I'm not going to delete. I'm going to press the right arrow key, and then I'm going to go to the forward direction to the right, and then pressing backspace will delete all the transforms, which is called a multi-cursor editing in VS Code. And I didn't do it on purpose. I just by mistake did that. Okay, so just be sure, don't include that transform here. It needs to be here, right? So I think we are all right and ready to roll. Click it. This is accidentally I just tested it in my video because I found it's not working, and I placed alert. So just remove that. If you you don't have to do that, you just follow along. Just it's never happened. Just pretend it's like it never happened. Okay, so sorry for that. Okay, let's refresh and let's click. So you see, but it's very slow, right? So all we have to do is just decrease the time to 1 second. I think 1 second is fairly a good amount of time we are doing it. So that is good. I think that's good. But you are noticing, if I do it first time, just the first time, it will work, but not the second time. Well, it's a very simple issue that the issue is that I am setting it true, and once it's set true, it never falls. And so the states always have the invalid state. It never goes back. It's always setting it's always setting invalid to true, and it's never ever getting back to valid. So just for this issue, we can just set timeout and revert this after 1 second. Okay, after 1000 millisecond. 1000 millisecond means 1 second, because 1 second contain a 1000 millisecond, so we can put the false. Right, we are done. So after clicking the animation complete, we will revert that false, which will cause it to take the value check again. Then the user click again. When user clicks again, this is going to be true, which is going to set it valid to invalid, which is going to run our animation again, and this is not going to be issue anymore. Let's check this out. So click it anytime, this will work. So guys, that's it for this video, and please like, subscribe, share. I will see you on the next one.